What's going on then, troops? Today we're going to cover a few things that come out in the news this week. Some of them that are pretty shocking. We've got Gurkhas to possibly allow women into the battalions. We've got a warrant officer who only had to do in a letter of apology after sexually assaulting a soldier. A former Trump advisor and Lieutenant General of the US military says the British Army wants to make him cry. And then we've had 500,000 artillery shells, artillery sort of ammunition have been sent to Ukraine. Starting off though, I just want to thank all of you for all of your continued support. All of you have liked, shared, commented, subscribed to this channel, and a big shout out to all of our channel members as well. Thank you for all of your continued support. But getting into it, UK Defence Minister is expected to reopen talks and allow women to join the Gurkhas. More than 4,000 Gurkhas are currently employed in the British Army, and they are recruited from Nepal. An absolute fierce fighting force, highly professional, and they are extremely good soldiers who go through a much tougher selection than what the actual British Army put their recruits through for their regular soldiers. I've actually done a reaction video to this recently, which you can check out on my channel. But they really do go through a tough training selection, and tens of thousands apply and only a certain number can obviously make it through, and it's a small number. These guys seriously train extremely hard in their teenage years to hopefully make it into the Gurkhas. Is this going to happen? I don't think it is. I just think the culture of Nepal, the way they live their life, women are just not going to be respected in that way. I'm not saying they don't respect their women. They respect their women, but Nepalese have a different culture to the British. When I used to go around to my Nepalese friend's house, he would cook us dinner. His wife would help cook the food. She would say hello, and then she would leave the room. The men would then eat together and eat alone, and then the women would go off and do their thing. They're just looked at slightly different. I'm not saying they're less equal. They're looking at them as lower. They just have a different culture. I don't think that would work within sort of the Gurkha battalions within the British Army, and they would allow that. Women can do any role within the British Army. They can go to Special Forces, they can go Pathfinders if they wanted to, Royal Marines, Parachute Regiment, Infantry. They're in the Infantry, Royal Armoured Corps. They can do all of that as long as they pass the criteria, but they cannot currently go into the Gurkhas. But the ambassador is going to be speaking to the Nepalese ambassador, who's going to be speaking to the defence minister. I don't think it will happen in any time in the near future. Me personally, just from my experiences with the guys in the Gurkhas, it's just how they live, how men and women sort of interact. But that's what's going on. That's what they're trying to do. An absolute shocking one here. Former US National Security Advisor and Lieutenant General McMaster warned London that new technology can't make up for the fallen numbers in its armed forces. The British Army makes me want to cry almost. It is a professional, extremely capable army that now lacks the capacity to sustain operations. So what he's talking about here is numbers, something we've been going on for a very, very long time. We have cut our armed forces down so small. Can we really sustain a large operation? Height of Afghan, 10 to 15,000 troops on the ground at any one time. That's infantry all the way back to your support, RLC, REME signals, engineers, artillery, etc. Go on. Would we be able to do that now? Most probably not. You've got 4 battalions being amalgamated into the Ranger battalions, and they're going off doing their sort of short-term training tasks. Majority of infantry battalions from when I left in 2022 and from what I know now are still pretty undermanned. I know some infantry battalions, foot guard battalions, are around 45-50% manning when I was in, and I still believe they're that low. We're down to around 72,500, and that number is still decreasing because we're losing more than we're recruiting. Retention is worse than recruitment, so that number is going to continue to drop. Reserves, yes, we've got a large number of reserves, but a lot of them are on the books, don't turn up, they don't know where they live. People, leave the regular forces, sign up to the reserve, never actually go. They're still part of the reserves, move address. They most probably don't even know where some of those people are. So the numbers with reserves aren't actually where where they say they are. But this is coming from a former Trump advisor. You know, the US have been saying it for quite some time now. They are worried that, yes, we've got this future soldier program. We're trying to improve and increase our technology, which is absolutely brilliant, trying to stay up there with modern warfare. But we need the numbers to do that. We need the numbers of equipment, vehicles, and personnel. It's just a fact that a larger force that is well equipped and highly professional is much better and going to be able to last longer than a smaller force that's highly professional and well equipped. So you can keep cutting the numbers, but we are going to need support, which, you know, is standard. You're always going to need support, but we are going to need a lot of support. We're only going to be able to maintain a small area if we ever did deploy on sort of a major operation, or we're going to have to go on a massive recruitment and getting all our veterans and reserves called up if a major sort of war did kick off. But yeah, the US are worried, and I do not blame them. Next major news then, which is absolutely disgusting. A Royal Artillery warrant officer accused of pinning down and attempting to kiss a teenage soldier should have been penalised more than having to just write a letter of apology. Apparently, I think there was a bit of sweeping under the carpet. She made a complaint. She was sexually harassed, assaulted. She made a complaint. Not the full story was then told to the chain of command. This battery sergeant major, Michael Webber, then just had to apologise. He is now a W01, so he's gone from a W02 to W01, but it's now because sadly this soldier Gunnar Beck took her life. It's gone to an inquest and it's gone to a hearing, and it's now come out that he did more than what was said, and she was harassed by another bombardier as well, apparently. Look, females do join the army. They are mixed with men. It's quite testosterone filled. Yes, I get that. I've been there, a young soldier. There is a bit of banter that goes around. The guys do try and get with the girls. Yes, but there is a line. There is a line. You don't take it too far, and you definitely don't do what this sergeant major did and this bombardier did. And it's sad that this soldier felt like she couldn't go anywhere else and decided to take her own life because they were greedy. They wanted to get what they wanted, and he had a bit of rank and thought he could pull it. Absolutely disgusting. Hopefully they'd get coming to him what they deserve. But yeah, literally heart goes out to her family and her friends. Absolutely disgusting, and it is a shame that this was missed and it was sort of swept under the carpet and the correct procedures weren't taken, and this guy ended up getting W01. Yeah, it's just mad, isn't it? And then finally, 500,000 artillery shells have been given to Ukraine to date, Defence Secretary says. That is more than £1 billion worth of ammunition. This is the announcement that came as 50 allies and partners, including Ukraine, the US, Japan and Australia, met for the 26th Ukraine Defence Contact Group, which was chaired by the Defence Secretary John Healey. So they're looking to basically give a further £150 million package to Ukraine, which includes drones, tanks and air defence systems. There's even been a British-built surface-to-air missile system which is being supplied to Ukraine, which has been built and developed from scratch in the last 18 months. And there's £60 million has been earmarked to help fix any damaged equipment such as Charlie 2s and other sort of vehicles and bits of equipment. I get Ukraine really needs the help, and we need to put an end to this war. We do, don't get me wrong. Ukraine, you know, you've seen my videos, I've supported them. I feel like some of the Russian soldiers are obviously being forced to do what they're going to do. Some of them may want to be there, but we need to stop casualties on both sides. Casualties and fatalities on both sides. It needs to stop. We're in the hundreds of thousands, possibly millions when it comes to casualties. Now it's absolutely ridiculous, the amount of numbers, and it's the large numbers that you see from the Rush sides that proves that you do need large numbers to maintain a force going on in operations, you know, which brings us back to the earlier point of us struggling with, you know, with the capacity that we have. But at some point, do we need to limit how much we're giving? Because apparently the UK is on track to deliver 10,000 drones to Ukraine in a single year. This is coming from the UK, who has its own issues at the minute. We're making cuts because we don't have the budget. We are at a 2% GDP defence budget, looking to try to go to 2.65. People trying to push to 3.5, which isn't happening because we're saying we haven't got the money. We currently don't have the kit and equipment ourselves, but we're giving it all away. You know, we're limited on Charlie 2s. We gave all of our CVRTs away, well, all the Mark 1s anyway. And then luckily the Ajax is sort of coming online now. Our AS90s have gone. We're now using 14 Archers. That's the only sort of howitzers we've currently got in the British Army. What does that say? 500,000 shells is a lot. 500,000. Bearing in mind, for the last few years I was in the Royal Artillery, we were getting less and less ammunition given to us when we were going on the ranges to fire, because they were limiting it, most probably because of budget cuts, so I was running out of ammunition. And now we're given 500,000 artillery shells, 10,000 drones, etc. We need to support them, but we also need to think about our stock as well, our emergency stock, just in case. I'm not saying anything is going to happen, but we are in a sort of pre-war state, and we need to think about this. But yeah, please do comment below with what your thoughts on this. I would love to hear your thoughts. Bit of a rant today. Maybe we should do these weekly. I love a little bit of a rant. Let us know in the comment section what you thought of this. But thank you for watching. Big shout out to all of you who subscribed, liked, shared, commented and viewed this video and a few other videos, and the shout out to all the channel members. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.